Bets and bullshit. Back again. Better than ever?
Same as
Worse?
always.
Same as always? We're about to find out because the Overlord Chuciferus Maximus III Jr. Is going to drop some knowledge on us. So do that.
Yep, and we're doing BS and bets all in one video. So, we're going to speed round this, which means we're starting with the weekly picks because that gets us to start drinking. And we all owe this week. For number one reason, I won again.
Oh, right. You won your game. You didn't win the weeklies. You won your match.
Right. I won my match, which is making us all drink because none of us chose me to beat Gary, and I beat Gary.
Cheers.
I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, me too. Does screw up. Gary was getting close to getting to the playoffs, so he's still close, but helps you more than anything, Harris. I'm drinking a combination of screwball and scatterbrain because I decided why not. So on the notes, because we love BS, Harris, how does it feel to be on this show with the best record?
This week? Is that what you mean?
No, just best record for of the three of us, sleeper wise. You've been the best record out of the three of us for a while.
Yeah. I never doubted myself. I always give 110%. My team is, number one. So, it's been a good year.
Right. Now,
I'm pleasantly surprised that I'm rocking a 5-5 right now. I mean, I really thought I was going to be shit canned this year. The fact that I'm even in the talks of possibly making the playoffs. And if I do make the playoffs, I just hope I fuck people shit up.
Right.
Well,
if you hadn't had the unfortunateness of being the second highest scoring person this week and losing, which you lost to Richie, which we all chose Richie to win, so we got it right. But I think the other irony on this pick is that projection-wise, you were projected to be the lowest scorer this week.
I was projected to be the lowest scorer this week, and I flat out I thought Richie was going to destroy me, but then I definitely beat the odds for my team this week, which I'm sure I get an award for that. I haven't even looked at Sleeper. Did I get anything for that, Carver? You're the guy who looks at Sleeper.
You got things.
You got you did get the beats projection one, if I remember correctly.
I smashed that, didn't I? Because I was projected 80.
You were projected at 80, and then you got the other irony was that not only did you get overachiever,
highest points in a loss.
Right. There's that. Ironically, your game was still the biggest blowout of the week.
Oh, that's funny.
That's funny. Which means all the other ones were really close because you lost by less than 20. Which isn't it's a blowout, but it's not as bad as most biggest blowouts. So that was one of our other picks. None of us owe for Richie beating Harris. Just sucks to be Harris. But the lead into that question that makes me real curious is, Carver, how do you feel about being the worst record of the three of us? And most points scored.
Yeah. I feel like there's some maybe some poetic justice in this. Maybe I was a little too braggadocious, a little too full of my team, feeling myself a little too much. And it's gonna be like, hey, here you go. Why don't you have what do I got? I have the 4th most points in the league with I think the least points scored against me.
Yep, that is still true.
And I'm in 11th place.
Yeah, by a decent amount the least scored, which is the scariest part of how little
Yeah. Fourth
You've been-
highest scoring team, least points scored against, 11th place.
Yeah.
I just don't
So-
understand how that's possible. But
Yeah.
I can do the impossible, gentlemen.
Right. Well, on that, you lost, which unfortunately you and I chose you to win, but Harris did not. So this is the second
That's right.
one I have to pay.
Well, I did 3 and I did a shot and a chug already. So I'm 2 in.
All right.
Thanks
Well,
for
I've done
catching
2.
up, Chewy.
This was unfortunately my worst week. So we all got the Gary pick wrong. You and I, Carver and I chose Carver to actually beat Spear because he was projected to beat Spear, and that did not work out. We all chose Richie to beat Harris, so that one, none of us owe on that. We all got lucky that Bill's team somehow pulled off a 2-point win over Chris, which is hilarious because Bill was projected to be the highest scoring person this week, and he barely scored, I think, like 87 points or something.
Ah, Bill, you suck.
Which the worst.
Yeah. Looks like Brashawn was actually the lowest scorer this week, but which moves us on to 2 picks that Harris and I got wrong, which is that we both chose Brashawn to beat Corey. Andy didn't. So
B, you let me down.
yeah, B let us
Hard to
down.
beat anybody when you have the lowest score.
I was going to mock B's dropping a quarterback for no reason when he has open bench because his opponent picked him up and played him against him. But I decided to do the research on what quarterbacks were available. And it may have been a good trick because almost all the ones Corey could have picked up instead scored more points than the one Brashawn dropped. So there were like 5 or 6 other quarterbacks he probably would have chosen over, and Corey would have still got more points. He only beat Brashawn by 8, so it really doesn't matter.
Brashawn showing again why he's 10 steps ahead of everybody else.
That's correct, except he still lost. So
9 steps ahead then.
What's he gonna do without Cooper Kupp?
Oh yeah, he's probably in trouble now. So that's another game we got wrong. However, you and I owe another one because we both chose Andy to beat Nielsen, and that did not happen. Harris chose Nielsen and got that one correct. I believe that's all the games. So the only 2 that Harris got wrong this week was Gary over me, which we all got wrong, and Brashawn beating Corey, which both Harris and I got wrong. Carver, you took 2nd place this week in picks with choosing your wrongs were Gary, Andy, and yourself. And mine was Gary, Andy, Brashawn, and Carver. So one of the rare weeks where I was the worst.
Since I did better than you, I probably have caught up to you now in the weeklies, right?
Well, sure. You caught up in that you are now 10 picks below me at 28 to 38. Harris is only 5 away from me at 33. So we got some
twice as bad as you, Harris.
Yeah. Not to mention, along with all this fun drinking that we get to do, Rashawn finally did not pick a mat for the first time in like 5 to 6 weeks, and it totally backfired. Because he picked me, which was the worst. But of course, if you had chose Carver, you would have still owed. But Rashawn, you owe. I also owe one for you choosing me. With this makes number 3, but I still got 2 more to go for the rest of my picks. We're going to move to the regular bets, which we're going to start with a bet that has a first-time winner in Matt Harris's basically weekly tight end bet with Andy. And for the first time ever, Harris has won this in week 10 at a staggering 22.9 to 6.8.
Harris, what were you doing? Were you like doing this?
Yeah. I'm just excited that Cole Kmet catches footballs now. So
I wish I hadn't dropped him in like half the leagues I had him in.
I know, yeah. He's probably gonna be decent for now that Fields is going ridiculous. Which would skips to another bet later, and I'll probably repeat it. Harris, you won a second bet this week. In a fun fashion of your quarterback bet with Gary that includes Fields and Burrow versus Carr and Hurts
Burrow had to buy.
includes bye weeks where Burrow was on a bye and you still won this.
Oh, that's awesome. I forgot about that bet.
Well played. Well played, Mr.
You-
Harris.
Fields alone got you 44.38 points.
Suck it, Care Bear.
And Carr and Hurts combined for 42.7. So you beat him by less than 2 points, but you beat him with only one quarterback because Fields is suddenly like QB1 in the last 2 weeks. So that's two of the bets that you were in that are just super amusing. We talked about our weekly picks. I've got this organized on who owes what. So we're going to get into Brashawn. Brashawn, you owe for choosing me in the weeklies. You also owe a combined 42.4 ounces for losing an ounce differential position bet with Chris, where you actually only lost 4 positions: tight end, defense, kicker, and receiver 1. The reason you owe so many is that your receiver 1 part was Justin Jefferson at 31 to, I think, your injured Cup at 1.4. So that one position alone was about 30 ounces. So B, you lost 4 positions there. You owe 42.4 ounces plus a shot or chug for the weekly picks. Carver, you threw out a Hail Mary. You hope to beat Spear bet that failed. You've paid both of those that both Bill and Harris took. There was a lot. Most of the bets this week, other than the weeklies, were position bets. So Gary and I had a position bet, and Special K and I had a position bet. I lost the QB to Gary, the wide receiver 2 to Gary, wide receiver 1 to Chris, kicker to Chris, and defense to Gary for a combined, call it 27 ounces. Those are the only bets I lost. We move into the decent amount that Gary owes, because Gary, let's just see what his number was for the week. Gary had 20 bets. He lost 15 of them. So it's probably not going to go great. But so Gary lost his weekly receiver bet with Andy, 40 something to 20 something. So that's his wine chug. Gary also lost the quarterback battle we talked about with Harris already. That's just a shot or a chug. He then lost Richie's new best ball position format bet, where Richie beat him at wide receiver 1 and 2, flex, quarterback, running back 1 and 2, kicker, which basically means Gary only won, I think, like a defense, and that might be it. That might be the only one Gary won on that one. Especially after the stat correction fixed the quarterback scoring. So Gary lost, both receivers, both running back, flex, quarterback, and kicker to Richie. Those are shot and chugs. He then has an ounce differential with myself, where he lost running back 1, wide receiver 1, tight end, running back 2, flex, and kicker for a combined total of 31.3 ounces. Not too bad. Really only works out to about less than 3 beers or 3 chugs. So for losing 6, it's only about half a drink a bet there. So works out fine. Very interestingly enough, this moves us on to Special K. Adams versus Hill, which is our weekly bet that escalates potentially every week and will escalate to a 3 times next week because Chris, for the first time between both of us, has lost this bet twice in a row. So he owes a double for this bet because Adams outscored Hill 24.6 to 12.9. So Chris, you actually owe a shot or chug. Must be done back to back. You know the rules. This is your bet. I hope you know your own bets. You also lost your total point starters non-light beer chug with Andy. You then lost the best position bet with Richie, for receiver 2, flex, quarterback, running back 1 and 2, and defense. Those are all shot and chugs. You then had, I think, 2 more position bets for ounce differentials with myself and Brashawn, where Brashawn, you lost running back 1 and 2, flex, quarterback, wide receiver 2, and that's it that you lost to Brashawn. With me, you lost the tight end, the defense, the wide receiver 2, the running back 1, the running back 2, quarterback, and flex. Your combined ounces, just for the ounce differential, so pay attention to the sheet, Chris, because you owe way more than these ounces, and I'm not doing any extra math for you. In ounces, 60.78, so 61 ounces. So just easy math. 5 normal beers is usually 12 ounces. 5 times 12 is 60. Just telling you. Moving on from Chris, we got Richie. He had a best position bet with Gary and Chris, of which he only lost wide receiver 1 to Chris, kicker to Chris, tight end to both of them, and defense to Gary. And he's already paid all those. So that is the bet. We're going to move back to just real quick, just jump to the season long, not season long, actual bets, but the bet tally. Gary is still on the lead with 134 total bets because he did 20 bets this week. So he has 3 straight weeks of 20 or more bets. I did 20 bets this week I'm now at 132. Chris is at 126, Harris 87, Richie 86, Carter 83, Rashawn 61, Andy 46, Corey 39. He had 0 bets this week. Bill had 1 bet this week at 33. And Spear and Nelson, who both had 0 bets this week, are at 21 for Spear and 13 for Nielsen on the season. So kind of some low bets there at the bottom of the table, but we'll see what happens. We're going to move into our weeklies because we need to start making picks, and this is where it takes some thinking, ideally, but it's going to be close. So Carver's got to wake up and pay attention. Our first game, and it's close projection-wise as of now without people in lineups.
I refuse.
I know you do. It's fine. You're bad at this part of the show anyway. We have
The truth hurts.
We have Andy projected to beat me by a whole 2 points, and I haven't looked, but I may be the lowest. Nope, I'm not the. Oh, hey Carver, guess what? You are currently projected to be the lowest scoring team this week.
You know what? So you've been tracking this. Has the lowest person projected been the person to score the lowest points?
Yes, I have unfortunately done that. It has,
week 6.
Are you a multiple offender?
Let's see, week 8 we didn't appear to track it.
We mean you?
It
Might have been when I took over.
There was a week that
Shame.
Harris did it for me. Let's see, week 1 it didn't get it right for highest or lowest. Week 2 also not correct.
Go figure. I'm scheduled to be the lowest points when Tua and Tyreek Hill are on a bye.
That's crazy.
I don't know why I'm the lowest.
Here's one of my favorite ones. It so far up to week 3, it's gotten both picks wrong. My favorite is so far is week 3. Richie was projected to be the highest and ended up being the lowest. Week 4, I forgot to track that. So who ended up being highest was Andy, and Gary was the lowest. Don't know who was projected to be that way. Oh, here's one. Chris was projected to be lowest and was the lowest. It didn't get highest right. We had me then match it a week later. So it got week 5 right with Chris being the lowest, and then week 6 right with me being the lowest. It did not get anything in week 7 correct. Oh no, it got highest right. Spear was the highest in week 7. It projected that. Week 8, we didn't track who was high or low, or would have projected high or low. And then week 9, highest was wrong and lowest was wrong. And then week 10, pretty sure Brashan was lowest. And highest was Richie. So it was wrong on both accounts there.
All right.
So,
All right.
as of right now, it's Andy projected to beat me by a whopping 2 points. I've done no research into this. I'm making Carver go first because at one time in the year he said he would never pick me to win, and then quickly changed that, and then after that went back to never choosing me to win. So,
Who do you play?
I play Andy.
Doesn't matter. I'm choosing the other person.
That's correct. Harris, I want to make you go.
Well, I would hope so. So yeah, I'm actually gonna take Andy with this. I looked at your guys' benches, and yeah, I'm going Andy.
I looked at not a damn thing.
Well, yeah, because I can see why you chose that. I am.
You're gonna pick yourself.
Andy's projected to beat me by 2 points with 3 empty spots in his bench compared to 1 empty spot for myself. So yeah, it's going to be like every week we're choosing against me. And
Okay.
if I surprise, hooray me.
Hey, I just adjusted my lineup, and now I'm only scheduled to lose by 2 points.
There we go. But that's not who we're going to talk about now.
I'm also going to start Deshaun Watson.
No, you're not.
Back from suspension, still projected for 0 points.
I thought it was week 13 he came back, not 11.
That's what I thought too. I thought I heard that, but okay.
I mean, I could be very wrong, which happens. If you look at my record, you would see happens quite often.
Well, the funny thing is, you're projected to still score 83 points even with a 0 projected quarterback. So you know what? You do you, man.
Yeah. We're not saying you're going to win, but you do it.
I haven't been paying attention to football lately because, life. Is Aaron Jones of the Packers hurt?
No, he played. He was hurt leading up to week 10 with an ankle injury, but it didn't sideline him, and he actually had a really decent game this week.
My AJ Dillon pick not paying off ever.
Yeah, so we're going to move on to, even though we could be choosing the Carver versus Corey game, we're not, because that's not what my list has. We're doing Gary, who is projected to beat Nielsen.
I'm the captain of bullshit. I'm gonna take over the situation.
That's fine. That's great. This is also only projected to be like a 1 point difference in the game. Gary projected to beat, actually it's like half a point. Yeah, Gary's projected to beat Nielsen by half a point. Harris, you get to go first.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this. I think Hurts is gonna have a better game, so I think Gary's gonna score good points. But I'm gonna ride the Matt train here. I'm gonna go Nielsen over the Gare Bear.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Gary, but I'm going to choose Nielsen myself too, just because I looked at things and I decided that was the way to go. Carver, you choosing a Matt or are you choosing a Gary?
Who'd you choose?
Harris and I both chose Matt.
Well, then I'm going Gary.
Cool. All right, that moves us on to the game you want to talk about the most, which you already did, which is yourself projected to lose to Corey. Are you choosing yourself to win with your 0 point quarterback, which if he wasn't scoring 0, you would be projected to beat him?
That's a stupid question to ask me who I'm picking.
I know it is, but I have to ask it so that you can say whatever you want to say.
The hubris is high with this one.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a college word for those of you that didn't graduate college, which I kind of think I'm the only one that didn't graduate college.
Pretty sure Chris did it. So you and Special K are on a little.
He graduated from the College of Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks. There you go.
Yeah, I'm sure you all did. I'm gonna drink.
You put respect on his name.
You son
Sped kid. All right, will do.
Even though his parents disrespected his name by spelling it with K.
So are we doing Carver right now, Carver and Corey?
We are trying to do. Yeah, we are trying to pick that.
Oh, this is easy for me. Hubris on this too, Corey.
You're so. How dare you not pick a Matt?
Yeah. So I looked at the team. I'm just gonna throw this out there real quick. I looked at the team and I noticed that he's got Garoppolo as his quarterback, but he has Lamar Jackson on his bench. So yeah, I'm going Corey. I gotta help my dog. I'll be right back.
Who is Lamar Jackson?
Not to mention that he also has the defense on bye. So if he switches his quarterback and plays a defense, even if your quarterback that you
now what if he trades his entire team for Kenneth Walker? What if that happens?
That supposedly is a possibility. I don't know the legitimacy of that. I will go with Corey as well.
Hey, if Corey wants to sacrifice everything to get a keeper in Kenneth Walker for the next foreseeable 8 seasons, who are we to tell him he can't?
It's an odd thing to do when you're currently in like the playoff race. Like he probably shouldn't even miss the playoffs at this point.
Yeah, so, but I think Richie was the big person in the chat that was like, hang on a minute. But even if that trade happened, even if Gary sent it and Corey accepted it, when you're in a league like ours with a keeper, rookie, and a second keeper kind of thing, as long as nobody, like Corey wouldn't be obviously just selling off a bunch of stuff because he's not making the playoffs and he doesn't care and it's a bullshit thing. Corey's in the playoffs.
Yep.
If he wanted to do that kind of trade to get a player that he wanted, that really wouldn't help Gary a whole lot. I don't really think that there's a reason that we would have any cause to say that trade couldn't go through. Because
wait, hold on. Does our league allow vetoing a trade?
Not that I know of.
No, but I understand your point, right? But just as a conversation piece, Richie was calling in question the legitimacy of the trade, and I think that it would be fine. Corey's making the playoffs pretty much no matter what. He'd be getting the player he wanted as a keeper, and
it's a homer pick for him too. I have no problem.
It's not like he's giving Gary, the keys to the championship, because Gary, I don't even know if he's going to make the playoffs. So I don't really
not losing to anything.
Yeah, the fake trade that was proposed, if both of them agreed to it, I would see no problem with it, honestly.
Yeah, I usually let trades happen unless it is just obviously bad. But in this case, since it would actually be a playoff team trading away decent stuff,
that's what I'm saying.
It's almost like it's very interesting that would happen to the level that I didn't look at all the players, but it was like there were so many players being traded in that it was kind of like ridiculous on that standpoint. But I still would have just been like, all right, whatever.
The funniest part about it is when Gary claimed that during the trade negotiations that Corey was sober, because I don't know if you've met Corey.
There's that. I don't I don't know that he's ever sober from one or the other.
Yeah, he works in the
But-
medical field and rarely sober from one substance or another.
Right. So just to list it off while we quickly have time, though we don't have that much time. The screenshot has
7
Lamar
full minutes.
Jackson. This is coming from Corey's team. Lamar Jackson, McLaurin, Brown from Philadelphia, Michael Pittman, Williams from Detroit, the receiver, Kelsey, the tight end. So one of the top tight ends, and Daryl Henderson, which whatever. For Kenneth Walker, Cam Akers, Devontae Smith, Tyreek Hill, not Tyreek, sorry, Taysom Hill, tight end New Orleans, Tyler Boyd, and Donovan Peoples-Jones.
I have Tyreek Hill. If they want to make this a 3-way trade, let's get into it.
Yeah, sorry, Taysom
Who is the only one who does 3 ways?
That's right. It's
Lucky.
a certain set of skills and a lot of luck.
Hey, I'm just gonna throw this out there. I choose Special K this week.
Wow.
Ooh.
Put it on the board.
Okay.
Put it on the board.
I'm gonna put that. We're gonna jump to that game since we're talking about that game. We're just gonna jump. We don't have much time not to. Harris, I'm gonna make you choose because I lost my sleeper app. Where is
I am also going to choose a Matt here.
it? Would be you versus him. So I mean, of the
Yeah,
choice,
I'm choosing myself to beat him.
Yeah.
I'm projected to beat him. I'm choosing myself.
What a homer.
That's right.
You are. You must have switched your lineup, or I can't.
Yes,
read
sir.
it.
Oh, well, yeah, I didn't have Burrow starting. I have Burrow starting now.
Okay.
Yeah. I see that you have Burrow starting. Still
Well,
choosing.
if you're basing it off of Cousins and Jefferson, which they did okay this last week. Yeah, sure.
Well,
I like this. It says that Judy is out, projected for 1.6 points.
right. Yeah, that's
Not gonna play, still getting 16 yards.
Hey, man, he's got this. Who are you taking, Chew?
you know, it's me. So I'm gonna choose Harris. This is at the rate this week is going, Carver has a good chance to make a decent comeback in the picks. Because
He's got 3 different picks so far.
yeah, of 4 games. So,
Yeah.
So we're gonna jump to the Spear projected to beat Rashawn game. This one,
I'm going Spear.
yeah, I probably don't even need to look at it, but you might want to. But right now, it is as low projected as it is for scoring is already about a 20-point difference, and that's really bad scoring.
Chewy, who are you
Yep.
taking?
I'm probably going to choose Spear. I just got to scan this real quick.
Do you guys ever play roulette?
Yeah.
All the time.
Always bet on black.
Okay. Well, we'll give you that one.
So he is also taking Spear. All right, moving on.
I'll take Spear. You get Rashawn Carver because that's
Hey, 10 points if you know what movie that's from.
all of them.
Starring Wesley
I feel-
Snipes. It's on an airplane.
Oh God, the one where Drop Zone.
Leave it in the comments if you know.
Is it Drop Zone?
No, that was a dumb guess. Leave it in the comments if you know.
All right, that brings us to our last one. Bill projected to beat.
You're looking it up, you cheater.
Yeah, I am because I bullshit.
Because Harris can't remember. So
It's a word and a double-digit number.
Passenger 57.
Spoiler, they're supposed to leave it in the comments. They were going to get 10 points.
from our new point system game we haven't.
Bullshit.
If you get
All right.
enough points, nothing will happen. Because my camera loses focus. At the rate things are going, this is. I want to do the first pick here. Is Bill versus Richie. Richie's team is all over the place, to be honest. It's like, I want to say last week it was one of the worst scoring, and then all of a sudden it's the best scoring. Bill's team has not really done well the last couple of weeks because the season-long bet of Spear or Bill outscoring Spear is now within like 7 points, and it used to be almost 100. In the last 2 weeks, Bill's team has dropped so many points, or not dropped, I guess is the way he underscored so badly. They are within like 7 points.
Wait, didn't I have Bill in that bet?
No, you're the one with Spear. So it's starting to look better for you.
Why would I ever choose Spear?
Probably because you didn't like Bill as much then.
Sure. Are you doing the first pick or?
Maybe it's my secret.
I'll just take
secret
Bill.
crush. I have a secret crush on Spear. I think that's.
I too am taking Bill.
Well, you're both taking Bill?
We're both taking Bill. Do you want to be different on 5 straight picks?
Yeah, you forced my hand. I gotta take I gotta take the depressor himself.
This is Bill and Richie, not
but it's okay.
Here. But you're gonna get Richie. We're gonna give you Richie.
Oh, Richie. Yeah, Richie still hates me and hasn't responded to me saying that he threw shade at me in his bet that one time. So less than a minute. Right. Chewy, stop wasting time. Let's go.
Okay, so Harris and I have the exact same picks this week. So we chose Andy Nielsen, Corey Spear, Harris, and Bill to win. Carver, the only one he agreed on with us was Andy beating myself, which is kind of obvious. He then chose Gary himself, Rashawn, Chris, and Richie to win. So if you want